why is there a need for openness in technology?
And why do we need it? We need open technology to democratize digital, to democratize AI, and to create access for everyone.
We learn a lot about ChatGPT and DeepSeek. We don't really know who are the people behind it, right?
Exactly.
There may be hundreds of people, nameless,
Thousands.
faceless, who have built small things that contributed to what we are seeing today. That's what it means, right?
Some of them build small things and some of them build huge things.
How many of them are we talking about?
In India, I think you have about 15 million GitHub accounts.
There are concerns among people that AI is going to take away jobs. In such a scenario, do you think the openness of technologies, tools, access can help prepare people?
Opening up that technology is key to building the skills of the future.
How the future will look like?
I think we've already transitioned through a number of these changes, and AI is just going to be the next one. AI should be a tool that serves humanity. Humanity shouldn't serve AI.
Hello and welcome. Today we have a special guest here in our studio with us, Amanda Brock. She is the founder and CEO of OpenUK. This is an organization that works and advocates for openness in technologies in United Kingdom. Amanda, thank you so much for coming here. First of all, welcome to India. How has it been?
Thank you very much for having me along. It's been slightly exhausting so far, and I'm sure it's only going to get worse as the week goes on. We've got a lot coming up.
Absolutely. There's a long lineup of speeches.
There is.
You are you are a speaker at the keynote event as well for the main event. All the best for that. But first of all, like a lot of people don't know, what exactly is OpenUK and why is there a need for openness in technologies?
So when we look at the open technology communities, we see that many of them work from home as they collaborate across the planet. So they're often not known in their home countries, in their home geographies. And what OpenUK does is bring those people together. It's a vast community in every country, and we bring them together in the UK and we give them a voice. So we talk about a submarine under the digital economy, and we surface that submarine for the open technology community. And why do we need it? We need open technology to democratize digital, to democratize AI, and to create access for everyone.
So basically, we learn a lot about ChatGPT and DeepSeek. We don't really know who are the people behind it, right?
Exactly.
There may be hundreds of people, nameless,
Thousands.
faceless, who have built small things that contributed to what we are seeing today. That's what it means, right?
Some of them build small things and some of them build huge things.
Yeah. So how many of them are we talking about?
In India, I think you have about 15 million GitHub accounts. In the UK, we're sitting at 7.1% of the population holding a GitHub account, about 4.8 million. And it's not an ideal way to measure, but it's the best measure we have, and it's a like-for-like measure globally.
So you're saying 15 million people in India work in that space?
They may not work in the space, but what they do is contribute and collaborate globally. Okay. So when we look at working in the space, it narrows down a bit and you get to the real deep experts.
And you are asking for openness in these technologies. But then comes the fundamental question. If you're asking me as a coder, as someone who builds a language, to have open access to it, how do I earn out of it?
So there's a bunch of business models around opening something up. And when you open it, what you do is create traction. Everybody heard of DeepSeek last January, and we saw a massive trajectory of adoption. And we've seen this across software historically too. So we build a de facto standard very quickly by opening it up, and then we monetize around that. But in terms of individual contributors, there's a huge concern that we need more funding. That ecosystem, we call it pay the maintainers, that ecosystem really needs global funding, and it needs global joined up funding from governments who recognize the digital public good that underlies our economy.
Let's just try and break it down. For a common man, we today know about, say, like I'm repeating, ChatGPT, Gemini, there is DeepSeek. What part of these things are actually being built by contributors that you and me are talking about today?
So when we describe it, we often talk about pizza, right? Everybody likes pizza. Everybody goes to a pizza restaurant and talks about the toppings. They don't talk about the base because the base is standard. And when we look at open technology, what all these people are building collaboratively is the base. Okay. Now it's dull, it's boring, it's hard work. But when you take that base away, what you've got is a sloppy mess.
Correct.
So we don't want a sloppy mess. So we want that open technology, that infrastructure to be well funded and well maintained.
You spoke about 15 million people in India. Yeah. We are in the middle of the AI summit here. What's your, in your view, from a global vantage point of view, is the contribution that India can make in this space in future?
So we are your second biggest collaborator in the UK, but you are one of, if not the biggest, in terms of number of individuals and their skills. So what we see is this dramatic increase. Of course you need more skills, everyone does, but we see this dramatic increase in the number of people contributing from India. The concern is that you don't have as many projects or companies coming out of India, and I think you really need to see a shift into leading. We're doing a number of events across the summit, bringing leaders together to help support that.
Okay. Amanda, when you talk about, India, as a potential of being a hub of these technologies, including AI. Could you also take us through the fact that how emerging nations or regions like India could navigate the space between regulation and at the same time not slowing down the emergence of technologies?
I think this is a challenge for everybody everywhere in the world right now. And we saw the EU push ahead very early and put an act in place that is just too dense, too specific, and really not workable. And I think to enable the innovation, which we all have to do, we have to have very flexible regulation, if any. In the UK, we focused on our regulators because AI should be a tool that serves humanity. Humanity shouldn't serve AI. And to enable that, what we've done is check the key concern areas: healthcare, mobile, finance, and we've looked at the existing regulation and looked for any gaps and tried to plug those gaps. And I think that's the practical way to do it, to make sure that the areas of real concern are appropriately regulated in a way that will flex with the innovation and recognise that what we're building is tools to support businesses, tools to support individuals.
Amanda, also there are concerns among people that AI is going to take away jobs. There'll be a complete shift in how workforces are managed on the floors. In such a scenario, do you think the openness of technologies, tools, access can help prepare people?
I think having access through openness is absolutely critical. There's a US founder, a chap called Mitchell Hashimoto, who founded a company called HashiCorp, one of the biggest open source companies in the US. It's listed, it's worth a lot of money. And when Mitchell tells his story, he talks about how he could not have done the job he does if he didn't have openness, because he wouldn't have had access to that technology to build his skills. And we see hundreds, thousands of stories like his that I think are really critical. So opening up that technology is key to building the skills of the future.
There's also concern about how the future will look like. What do you think, say, 20 years from now, how would it look like?
I think it will be very different, but I think we will also have to recognise that people talk about the AI revolution as like the printing press and one of the biggest changes. I've worked in technology for 30 years and I've seen some changes. I started in the dot-com boom, and I think the World Wide Web is probably as a bigger change for our lives as the AI revolution is going to be. And I think our devices, mobile phones, and what they've done to the way we interact and how we manage our day-to-day lives have also been equally as significant. So I think we've already transitioned through a number of these changes, and AI is just going to be the next one.
One last thing, you are here for the summit. What are your expectations? What would you consider a success?
I think it's huge, and I think it's very ambitious. No other country has taken on something like the way India is running the summit. For me, success would be to see a good conversation in the Leaders' Day about open technologies and digital public good. I know we have that through the week, and we have dozens of events with hundreds of speakers talking about its importance. So success for me will be seeing the leadership take that critical topic on head on.
Thank you very much, Amanda, for joining us,
Thank
and
you.
all the best.
Thank you.